Yeah, for sure. Hey, Matt, how are you?
Nicholas, on a Friday afternoon, I'm doing very well. How about you?
I'm doing good. We were not starting on time today. It's been busy, but I had a question for you before we start. What, do you trust what you see today, and what you hear and what you read?
Uh, you mean in the media?
I mean, in media everywhere, right? It's like,
Uh, I am such a student of the media. I love the media. I absorb a lot of media. I trust no one. And
yeah,
that's the problem with the media. And it's so funny you asked that, and kind of goes into what we're going to talk about today, Nicholas. So we've got 4 hot topics. Thank you very much. You tuned into the VCommerce podcast. We're going to touch on 4 quick topics for you about video commerce. This is the video streaming dynamic of selling product through your Instagram and TikTok and your internet and your websites. We're going to talk on 4 topics, and one is AI eroding our trust. So not just AI, but is the media eroding our trust, and who do you trust? Then we're going to talk about Mr. Beast. Nicholas discovered a fascinating article. Is it fake? Is it real? Coming from Mr. Beast and talking about the art of the sell and how Mr. Beast became popular and what he's done and how he interacts with his own employees, maybe, and how he drives viewership through his own social media. Then we're going to talk about YouTube. Oh, they were all over the news this week, Nicholas. How it's become the most popular social app with Gen Z and what they're doing in the video commerce world. A lot going on there. And finally, Tupperware. Of all companies, Tupperware has filed for bankruptcy. One
yeah.
of the older, longest standing American companies that I've always trusted. They filed for bankruptcy. Why?
Yeah,
Don't people have leftovers anymore?
yeah.
I'm not sure what's going on there, but let's get started.
Let's
Lots
get
to talk
started.
about.
All right. All right, everybody. This is Nico, the company with eStreamy, the company that gets you live stream and video commerce on your site, social media, email, and SMS. I am here with my great host and great friend Matt from E6 Marketing, the company that gets you on QVC initiation. And for the one that have been following us since not the beginning or for the last preview shows, first of all, thank you for being here. We'd like to have you here. Please comment and share. Say hi. Say where you're coming from. We're doing, and we're here every Friday on LinkedIn. We're changing the format, as you can see. We're going to try to start a little bit with a recap of the 4 news we want to bring on. So bear with us. We're trying with this thing. So the first news, Matt, we were talking about was the AI trust, right? This is an article that I was able to come across very recently, and kudos to the hustle to kind of guiding me toward looking at that in a little deeper. I was actually at a trade show yesterday, and in a marketing trade show, and people were talking about the advance of AI and how do we manage trust. And something that was very interesting is YouGov that realized a survey that says that over 85% of Americans are concerned with deepfake. So what you were saying, Matt, about the fact that you don't trust media is like, can we trust what we see? It used to be a time where if you don't believe it, just go and see it. But now we can't say that anymore. Like, like you can see it by your own eyes, but don't go see it on the internet. There's like tons of video today on the internet now where you see Kamala doing crazy things, you see Trump doing crazy things. You intimately know that that's a deep fake. But so this one is it's not subtle, but there are a lot of the others that are really subtle, and you really don't know what am I seeing a fake video, am I seeing a real video. I think it's a big problem. It's something that is growing, and there's a guy from Arts Technica, his name is Benj Edward, that coined the deep doubt era, which I think is really true. We're in the deep doubt era. What do we trust? What it is? Do we read the right thing? Is it true? The seeking of truth, I think it's fascinating. I think there's a lot of parallel we can think, and why, in my point of view, video commerce and the community commerce are going to be big. But I'd love to stop here and take some of your take, Matt, on this whole topic.
Yeah, so you talked about it in your news article today. YouGov survey reveals 85% of Americans are concerned about deepfakes. None of us want to be ripped off. None of us want to be misinformed, and it's happening everywhere. From general news updating on CNN versus Fox, ESPN with sports compared to Fox Sports or any other sports broadcast. Everyone's got an angle. Political dynamics, even aside, which we're all bombarded with political dynamics and media right now, but everything else. I think personally, this goes into why you and I do what we do. We're into live streaming. We're into community and building a connection between the brand and the consumer. And there is nothing more authentic than live. We're live right now. It's 2:45 East Coast time on Friday, 9/20. It's September 20th. This is live. And I know a lot of people are watching on YouTube maybe over the weekend or next week, but we're recording this live, unscripted, and we're talking about what's going on right now in video commerce. And to me, these deep fakes kind of play out in hurting authenticity and being authentic as a brand. I consider video commerce being very authentic, and I think it's something everyone should be considering if you're in the e-commerce space.
I agree. I think the authenticity, but also thinking about the value you bring to the table. We talked about that, but I do. There is, so this is the live stream, but if you think about it and what's happening in other parts of the world, in China, and I think where maybe some of the thing is going is like people starting to ask, how can you introduce text to video and all those things into live stream? So now you interact with the virtual agents, and that virtual agent today is an avatar, right? That is pretty easy to spot. But I think we're not very far from a world where live stream, maybe in kind of a setting like we both are doing, could be completely generated.
Then it becomes background noise. I mean, it's not authentic, and that takes away from why I don't think, from American standpoint in the U.S., we haven't even figured out live streaming yet.
Yeah,
we're all learning from each other. We're developing the process. We're developing a whole ecosystem, and then if we're going to get right into AI, then it's going to be non-genuine, and I think it's going to hurt.
But the economy speaks by itself, right? People love to do a lot of things with the lowest cost possible, and AI, producing video content is expensive. It requires resources, it requires people, it requires time. And if AI can save you that, maybe we will see some people kind of abusing of it. But that's speaking of AI, Matt, there's a second story that got in the news that I think you should be bringing on.
I know you grabbed your attention enough that I printed out a large document this week, thinking it was gold, pure gold, and it didn't turn out to be pure gold. Is it from MrBeast? Is it not? It's a document that Nicolas's team found, believed to be from MrBeast. MrBeast is a big original content creator on YouTube, and he talked all about the dynamics of running his company, how best practices, what you should and should not do. A little jarring in some ways, a little I was a little put off in other ways. In the overall scheme, as you kind of summarized it, it talked about the arc of the presentation. And you and I have talked about that a lot. And I think that's what I took out of the whole thing. He's got a dynamic that's very similar to what you and I have both learned in grabbing the customer's attention.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the first minute is about like getting that excitement, getting as much value packed in the first minute. It's really about managing the expectation with the thumbnail. So making sure that people don't feel deceived about what they expect to see and what they're actually seeing. And so that's, I think, is very interesting, right? From the moment that you want to build trust about the content itself, and that content is actually what you are expecting to see. I think that's very interesting from the thumbnail and then title. And then he's talking about how, on the first around from the minute 1 to the minute 3, it's about like, how do you quickly build the story? How do we quickly switch from one to another? How do we pack as much value as possible from that short period of time? And then he's talking about from that 3 to 6 is like, trying to make the story flow better, making from the frequent change of scene to keep the interest, but also keeping the content interesting at the same time. And then really on the second piece of the video, really releasing the tension or maintaining the tension, depending on what you look at it, but making sure that the user get to the conclusion by themselves, but while maintaining a little bit of that tension. So it's all about playing on those emotions in some way, right? So obviously the document is really interesting. I invite you to check it out. I actually, Matt, I just tried something today. Well, two things to really realize that we're not deepfake here doing this stream. First was, as you can see on the video, I messed up the story and I started with story 3 while we were doing on story 2. But if you guys want to see that document I'm talking about, I just released on eastreamy.com a newsletter on LinkedIn directly, and the document I'm talking about is a link on that newsletter. So I'm trying something new here as well.
Now I'll tell this, Nicholas. MrBeast does something else. He's kind of like a action-seeking craziness, grabbing his followers' attention. I took it from the e-com and VCom space. So I'll quickly say how you broke it down just now is how MrBeast broke down his videos. Yeah. I break it down into on-air presentations or whatever, however you're going through VCommerce. First couple minutes, first minute or two, you tell the brand story and you set up the problem solution. Why is she tuning in? Because of the brand, and you're going to solve her problems. And then the second part, or the second block, educate. Demonstrate, do a live demonstration, show a video, show her how the product works and why it's beneficial for her to buy it. Third thing, B&As, models, showing the results, what you'll get by using this product, the results of buying or purchasing this product. And then the last part, repeat the most important things. Go over the demos again, show the models again, tell the brand story, set up that problem solution again. So then she'll really capture what you've been talking about in that presentation. All of this, Nicholas, to me, is just keeping the consumer's time at the utmost attentive way you can. Don't waste their time. Come up with a structured presentation and educate and demonstrate and illustrate your product to the best of your ability and let the consumer learn from you and then buy it. And then all of a sudden, your consumer is an educated one. So you don't have to worry about return rates and dissatisfaction. She's making an educated decision.
What I love about the structure of your plan is it's not about the product attribute, it's about the product benefit. It's about the problem solution. It's about like showing the result, as you say, right? So it's what can I get me as a user about this product? I don't care it's red, yellow, or orange. I mean, like obviously I care, but that's really what I care about is I want to know if when I put the makeup, would I become beautiful? That's what I care about.
How's it affect me? I'm the consumer. I'm your viewer. How's this going to affect me? This is for you. This is for you, the customer, the viewer. I like how he did that. So I interpreted MrBeast's kind of dynamic into our world. And the overall thing for anyone that goes on TikTok or goes on YouTube and is getting into this video commerce space, just value your customer's time and don't waste their time. Don't just go in willy-nilly talking about your product or just wasting their time. Go into it with an approach and a blueprint and a dynamic that grabs her attention and helps her make an impulse purchase decision. Because in the end, she didn't know about your product until she found your video. And this decision that she's going to make is going to be an impulse purchase decision. Make sure that she's educated in doing so.
Absolutely. Well, before we start and go to the next story, I just want to say hi to Tessie Alden that has been sending us some love here. So the next story, and this time is I'm going to do it right, is Google a story about YouTube.
Video generation
YouTube had a big release this weekend. For the one that this is a video that I grabbed from X, the social media platform. And one of the stories within this platform is YouTube is bringing on V, which is their model, text to video, into the short. And so with the V model, basically, you will be able to actually create short form video, 6-second short form video, all for AI. So
to
we were talking
visualize
about
a
the
content.
deepfake.
Well, now
But
you
this is
can
really
generate
interesting. What's
videos
also
specifically
interesting in
for
that
that.
story,
For
the
example,
text
here's
to
how
text to video
booktuber
thing,
Haley Pham used
is
it to visualize the book
like
The
they're
Secret
showcasing
Garden.
this
Green
woman
screen
that
with
is talking
Vio
about
is
this book, and
coming
then
to YouTube
she make
Shorts. So the
the
stories that you
woman
can tell
walking
are
through
about to get way
you
more
know
featured.
a new
Okay, now let's
garden
talk
of
about some new ways
flowers,
to
like
earn
virtual garden
on
of
YouTube.
flowers. So
Over
I
the
think
last 3
there's,
years, YouTube has
as
paid
they
out
say,
$70
it's
billion
really about
to creators,
enhancing the video
artists, and
sharing,
media
bringing on
companies.
And that's why
virtual
YouTube is the
B-roll,
home for creators.
So
you know,
these
through
next
AIs,
announcements
as
are
well
designed to
as
keep building
adding
on that.
adding some element of
The first is
interesting
gifts
stories.
and jewels. If you're a
This
creator that
is
likes to
also
go
part
live with
of a
vertical
bigger
content, your fans can
role,
now send
the
gifts
rollout that they're
during the
doing,
stream.
where we're
So
talking
your
about
viewers
gifts,
can
they are
purchase
talking
a
about
bundle of
community.
jewels, and that
They
allows
have
them to
done
send
tons
you a
of
range
things,
gifts during your live stream.
and
This
so I
unlocks
just felt
a
that
new way for fans to
we are
express
seeing, you know,
themselves.
in
And
this world
as a
of AI,
creator, you now
a
have
lot of
even more
positive
ways
as
to earn.
well. It's
Next
not
up,
all
YouTube is
about
also
the
expanding
deepfake
its
and everything,
shopping
but there's a lot of
program.
things
So the
going
affiliate
on with
program is
AI,
already
and
in
then
the
with
US,
video
and
in
it launched in
specifically.
South Korea earlier.
So it's really, I think, it's quite exciting time we're in now.
Yeah, your audio was playing there. I didn't want to interrupt you while you were doing that. It was a little harder to hear what you're saying, but basically you were saying, and you were talking about, YouTube is becoming a serious player in this world. Most popular social app for Gen Z. It's growing, and now it's getting into the video commerce space. And I think our basic summary of this story is don't sleep on YouTube. I think all video commerce, e-commerce brands should be everywhere on your e-commerce space, through social media, through YouTube, through TikTok Shop, through QVC or HSN, through selling on your own site. Like, you need to be everywhere. You need to be on all platforms as best you can. YouTube is becoming a serious player in the space. You get into the weeds of how do I shoot vertical or horizontal. Don't worry about any of that stuff. I don't think from the very beginning. Just try to get involved in each of these platforms and educate yourself on what platforms what they do on each platform and how you can be a part of it. YouTube is going to be a serious player. We think Amazon's a dominant, e-com space, which they obviously are in the US and I guess around the world. YouTube is going to be dominant with video if they aren't already.
Well, I mean, yes, they are dominant until Amazon buy TikTok or Walmart buy TikTok, and then the roles die again, right? The dice roll again. So
yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah,
so
who could pay for that kind of thing is going to own all the coin and have all the audience, right?
Absolutely. Well, the last story we want to bring on is the iconic Tupperware. And so Tupperware has been this company that has been 70 years old, selling a lot of how would I call that, boxes?
Storage, food
yeah.
storage bins.
Food storage bin, yeah. And then for the one that don't know much about Tupperware, this is a brand that is what we call the MLM, which is the multi-level marketing. Basically, the way they rely on is you as a you can be a Tupperware associate or vendor, and then you will have a commission on the sales that you're making. And so for many years, a lot of people have done a living or a side income. It was the gig economy before the gig economy was invented and coined as a term. But basically, you could become a seller and start selling your product, organizing parties with your friends. It was very much something that was typically led by a female consumer, and that was going and creating an environment with their friend where they were selling, and then you taking orders on the paper, and then everyone got shipped their product. What's very interesting with this story, what I felt very interesting is, well, the fact that Tupperware is in financial crisis. It's really sad, because basically it's still an iconic brand, and I really wish them well. But the thing is interesting is, if you think of it from a standpoint of video commerce and live shopping, you will think that this is a type of company where video commerce, live shopping should be really at the forefront of what they do in this DNL, in this day and age, right? Like, and they recognize Tupperware that one of the main reasons for filing bankruptcy is that they say that they haven't been able to take the path to e-commerce, and they haven't been able to go and grow and compete with this new model of e-commerce. And so they have a $1.2 billion in debt. But when I think about Tupperware, and the reason I want to bring it up is, like, when I think about the MLM in general, I see very little video commerce being done there. And I'm very surprised, very confused.
Disappointed.
Yeah.
Aren't you disappointed?
Why is like, those people, they have armies of vendors that know how to activate micro community, right? Like a direct fan of the brand or of the person that will come and activate and make a sale. They have social media presence. They have all the ingredient to make it work, and yet they don't have the tools. And I'm so disappointed in a way, or I'm so surprised, I will say, that those MLM company are not giving those kind of technology to all their vendors, because I do think that if there is one crew that should know how to make this work, it's probably those guys. And
Nicolas, 100%. You grow up in America, and these kind of Tupperware parties were things that your mother had all the time. Tupperware parties were where your mom or a woman invites her friends and her family into her home. She serves appetizers and a little light eating, and then she gets in front of her friends and family and talks about the Tupperware products she has that was sent to her to sell. So you hand out these storage dishes around the couch and around the steps and wherever else people are sitting, whoever you could fit in your living room, and they touch it and feel it and see how the capacity works. And then at the end of the party, you fill out a form and you tell your friend or your cousin or your sister or your mother what products you're going to buy. You got a locked in audience. These are friends and family that you invited into your home. Now you could take this friends and family, you could fit 20 people in your living room, or you could fit 50 friends and family on a video commerce chat, live video commerce chat where you tell everyone to log in at 7 p.m. on a Tuesday night. And I'm going to show you about these Tupperware products that I have. Yeah. And you get your friends and family to lock in because they feel guilty because you invited them, and your friends and family, they're going to tune in, technically, and you're going to interact with your friends and family and tell them all the things they want to know about this dish that protects the chicken that you had last night. It's so disappointing. It's so insane to me. Tupperware, 93 years old or 78 years old?
Yeah, 78, yeah.
78 years old. They didn't figure out how to get this video dynamic. It's already in play. And these are micro marketing. Like it's who you know. You invite the people who you know, but only so many people can fit in someone's living room. So now you could expand the broad reach. It makes perfect sense. They should have been the leader in video commerce. Absolutely. They still can.
Well, but the thing is, like, it's not they should have been the leader in video commerce. I think the industry should have been the leader in video commerce, like the MLM industry, right? I do think that, and I don't think the issue is a lack of tool, because there are lack of tool, and I agree that maybe video commerce, the way, for instance, maybe Extremely does it, might not be completely suitable for MLM, but because they already do Zoom. But like company like an Extremely or like some others, if when we knock at the door, if they were to say, hey, I need XYZ in top of that to make it work, I'm sure you have an army of people like us that wants to make that work. Some are using Zoom, and Zoom is not a great channel to sell. It's a good channel, but it's you don't have all the shop ability. You're leaving the place, so it end up that you're saying, the beauty of, I think, the party, the Tupperware party, right? What it is like you're with your friend, and the mom is here, or like the person doing it, and you see them filling out the form in front of you. And then you're collecting the form before they leave, right? Now, if you do a Zoom and you say, oh, this is the QR code, scan on this, and then people say, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it today. I'll do it tonight. And guess what? Those people are not doing it, right? Why? Because you want to be on the stream. You want to be able to say, hey, guys, I still have, I can see from the dashboard that we still have $1,000 of order unchecked. Let me give you an additional 5 or 10 minutes so we can all close our carts, right? And you can do this when you have visibility of how many you got on the cart and how many still haven't checked out. And you are on the crew. Everyone is here. They're still waiting for you, and everyone knows that, well, it's the time to purchase. And
Nicolas, only 16 of this one pot is available. Get on board. It's going to sell out. Joanne, I know this would fit into your kitchen cabinet, blah, blah, blah. Joanne or Betty or Mary, like, you're talking to your friends and family through Tupperware sales. it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
It makes perfect sense for this to work in video commerce. And I will don't who knows what's going to happen? They're filing for bankruptcy. That doesn't mean the company's done.
Absolutely.
And they've got such history. So if they're able to just tweak their direction. Now, this is just one example, as you said, but all these brands, these like longstanding, a lot of what QVC and HSN started with were like vacuum cleaners. Like that was another dynamic where a guy or a woman would come into your house and sell you a vacuum cleaner, and they would demonstrate it and the whole deal. And now we do it through video commerce, through QVC, HSN, live streaming, all of it. The Tupperware story could be the exact same thing. So if we're going to end this, and I think we've been positive a lot today in talking about how video commerce can improve the dynamic, Tupperware, contact eStreamly, contact one of the companies that we work with. We could help you capture your audience again.
Absolutely. Well, thanks everyone for being here. Matt, I don't have a special shout out. Do you have a special shout out today?
No, nothing today. I'm just excited for the fall weekend as the leaves are starting to turn here on the East Coast. It's going to be good.
Me too. So thanks everyone for tuning in. This is Nico with eStreamly and the great host Matt from E6 Marketing. We're here every Friday for you. On LinkedIn, we try to be at 11, but today we had a little change on the schedule. So we're a little later. Hope that new timing is still okay with you. You can see the video as well on YouTube and on other channels such as the Live E-commerce podcast channel. Well, thanks everyone for being here, and we will look again for you next Friday. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.